we have another source that describes how the United States and UK prevented a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine's top negotiator explained that last spring in Istanbul, Vladimir Putin and Zelensky was ready to sign a peace agreement. Then the deal stalled. So let me get this straight. The message that we was fed in the West is that Putin is a madman and it's a waste of time to try to negotiate with him in good faith. The fact that we have the United States and UK that was the ones blocking peace deals completely destroys that narrative. Now Ukraine is in a worse position than they was last spring, and they lost hundreds of thousands of men. And what exactly did they accomplish by rejecting this peace deal last year? Oh yeah, I forgot. Record profits for weapon manufacturers. Yes, that's right. Our ruling class, Joe Biden in the UK, they sacrificed an entire generation of Ukrainians for record stock profits and to very slightly weaken Russia. Now the Biden administration is quietly shifting their position after claiming that the end goal will be driving all of Russia out of Ukraine. Now the Biden administration is focusing on more a defensive posture, and they want Ukraine to maintain the territories that they already have. Do you know how they would have accomplished that, Joe Biden? Maybe if you would have accepted the peace deal that was offered last year, that would have been possible. Man, I really hope that Taiwan has their head screwed on straight. If they really believe the United States had their best interests at heart, they're going to end up like the Ukrainians.
Defending the occupation. The only test for Israel, is it defending itself or is it defending the occupation? There's a simple test. Any 2-year-old can tell you what that test is. Let Israel withdraw to its internationally recognized boundaries. And then, if Hamas launches rockets, they have a right to self-defense, meaning Israel. But until they withdraw to their border, their internationally recognized border, Hamas has the right under international law. There's no question about that. Hamas has the right under international law as a people's struggle for self-determination to use armed force to achieve its independence and statehood. So you can't fault Hamas or the Palestinians for refusing to accept their annexation. In the case of Gaza, it's a double flagrant violation of international law because the blockade is illegal. So what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to allow Israel to suffocate them to death, as Israel has been doing for the last 7 years? Are they obliged legally, morally, to lay down and die? Is that their obligation under international law? You're a mother. I know. 95% of the water in Gaza, 95% of the water in Gaza is not fit for human consumption. Are they supposed to acquiesce in that? Are they supposed to accept it?
According to social democrats, they are. According to pacifists, they are. Welcome back. What's poppin', my friends, my family? I hope you guys are having a beautiful Friday. Welcome to RBN Friday Live. It's good to be back. Isn't it something how the people who are critical of Israel, meaning the only serious people in the room, isn't it wow how we have to explain the law to quote unquote law and order people, the people who believe in a quote unquote rules-based order, the same society that imposes harsh law and order on Black and brown communities Even if it means we imprison 1/4 of the world's prison population, they will say stuff like this. Oh, we don't care if we have a prison state. It doesn't matter if we live in an authoritarian prison state where the police siphons the wealth of the workers. If you guys are upset at that, then just follow the law. No matter how unjust, their argument is you should shut up and follow the law. The reason why I am extremely frustrated is because whenever my revolutionary radical ass quote the law at them, they claim that we some sort of conspiracy theorists, that we are terrorist sympathizers. No, I am quoting the law that Western white societies accept. The Genocide Convention following World War II. The idea of the Genocide Convention was never again. You have European countries got together. How can we figure out a way to make sure that a genocide like this never take place ever again? And they come up with the Genocide Conventions. And now all of a sudden, the Genocide Conventions are inconvenient. Because as you guys know, Yemen, led by the Houthis, they had one of the most revolutionary acts that we have seen in quite some time in opposing and resisting the Israeli genocide at all costs, including dealing a big blow to Israeli economy, costing many companies that were complicit in genocide billions of dollars. And I saw a ton of people who were cheering on the Yemenis people, but the social democrat, liberal-minded person was like, "Oh, come on, man, it's not good though because you're attacking business, non-private entities." Meanwhile, this is what the Genocide Convention says. Apparently, anti-imperialists, post-duopolists like ourselves at RBN, we're the only one who actually quote and read the law. Do you guys know we are ruled by a lawless beast? Joe Biden is a lawless beast. Nancy Pelosi is a lawless beast. It's not us Marxist revolutionaries that are lawless. We want to bring the capitalist ruling class to heel because they are criminals. They have no right to label anyone as terrorist. Why would anyone allow the biggest criminals we've seen in modern human history? Why would anyone take it seriously that they label someone a terrorist? Because this is the reality of the situation. The Houthis that Fox News and Republicans want to label a terrorist group, they want to call them a terrorist group. They are the only people, they're the only state with the guts to actually follow the Genocide Convention that says that all state parties have obligation to take measures to prevent and punish the crime of genocide, whether you're going after responsible rulers, public officials, or private individuals. So the Houthis are correct. I won't condemn Hamas because Hamas is correct. And I won't get many guest spots on the Hill and many other shows because I won't shy away from saying that. Nick, do you condemn Hamas? No, I do not. They are operating under international law. They're engaging in the terms of engagement that Israel set. So, sir, do you condemn Israel? And if you do not, why? Considering their blatant disregard for international law. Over 100 journalists killed. I think the count was 103 last time I saw. Israel, like Norman said, is the terrorist state in the situation. And as I said, we are the most propagandized country in the world. And the only way that our ruling class can get people to root for Israel, the reason why people view it as common knowledge and they just accept it as common knowledge that Hamas is a terrorist organization is because Israel and the Western media paint cartoonish depictions of Hamas. The same way they paint cartoonish depictions of Vladimir Putin, Saddam Hussein, Nicolas Maduro. Isn't it funny how the United States, we never have just a country and state that we disagree with. It never, we got a disagreement, we can't come to terms, so we got to engage with our military. It never, oh man, we got this disagreement with this person, we got this. It's always this person who we're fighting is the greatest evil that we have ever seen. Putin is the greatest evil. He's the next Hitler. Now Hamas Hitler. Nicolas Maduro was Hitler. Xi Jinping is Hitler. They say Xi Jinping is Mao because they view Mao as bad as Hitler, right? Even though he liberated the Chinese people, led to he set the groundwork to the economic boom that they're facing right now. So they hate him for it. So isn't it funny that everyone that we hate is the worst, most barbaric human of all time? And this propaganda, even though it sounds ridiculous when I put it like this, right? It works really well. The idea that, and this is what got our channel throttled to death. This is what, if I had any job, any like the person I was dependent on, if I was part of any financial organization I was financially dependent on, if I had a manager, I would have been fired by the Zionist lobby. They were like, hey, look, you see Nick Cruz saying that Hamas is not terrorist? And then it doesn't matter if I'm right, because I am. They will weaponize the capital because that's what Zionists do. Doesn't matter if you're right. You can be kicking and screaming while you're right all the way down, and as you get fired. And I'm going to share this, and I'm going to get into the other story of why they successfully do this. We're going to cover how the Grayzone exposed the Intercept. We also have Nikki Haley that was exposed. We told you guys Nikki Haley was easily the most unhinged candidate in the race. Meanwhile, the liberal media was paying her as a moderate. We see how well that worked. So we're going to cover those two stories here soon. So I'm showing you guys this because this is the example of the capitalist dictatorship that we live in. Zionists are exporting their fascism from Israel, and the United States Zionists are happily importing that fascism here. And the argument that we Marxists make is that you can't have democracy. You can't really be free under a capitalist system. The people who think we got free speech, the people who are gifted free speech, these are the people who don't rock the boat. These are members of the ruling class, people who sell out their communities. But the second that you stand out and speak out against the ruling class, you see how much free speech rights that we have. You will see how much protections that we have in our law once you challenge something that is critical to the establishment, like the genocide they are perpetuating right now. It is critical that Israel commit the genocide. It is critical that less people know about the genocide as possible. So they got to go full-fledged authoritarian fascist in order to protect the state of Israel. And many right-wingers are more than happy with this. So look at this. Target fired a five-year manager. So he was at Target for 5 years for speaking up about Palestine through her social media account that had absolutely no affiliation with the company. No affiliation with the company, her own personal social media. She clocks in, she works 9 to 10 hours, she gets home, and then she can do wherever the hell she wants. That's the idea, right? No. You sweet summer child. The capitalists control how you think. If you have the audacity to call out our wars, our ruling class, and you are vocal about it, they will silence you. So
genocide!
We're supporting genocide!
For everyone who doesn't know, this Target location fired an employee named Aya for posting pro-Palestine. Has turned into Nazi Germany. If you speak out against the genocide murdering children, you will be fired by people like this and companies like these. While your shopping bombs are dropping!
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 20,000 dead in Gaza! 7,000 children dead! Orphans! 1.7 million people displaced from their homes! And they are quiet and they are supporting this genocide! The U.S. government directly funds the weapons that are killing these children! Look it up. You want to see any videos of proof? We will show you. The Zionists are liars. They are murderers. They murder women and children for the last 75 years. It did not start on October 7th. This started 75 years ago. Please, everybody, do your part. Look into it. And do not stand for injustice. Stand against it.
the most despicable people in politics are the people I have been calling out, the fake right-wing populists. Remember the people who pretend they care about free speech and standing against censorship? Do you guys remember the reaction from majority of the right, which I stood with them regarding COVID censorship? Right-wingers, obviously for good reason, melted down, and I agreed. I grilled Howie Hawkins on this issue. If you're a pro-worker, it doesn't matter what your stance on the vaccines are. How are you pro-worker if you believe that someone should be fired for disagreeing with the government on public health policy? So the right wing, when it came to the vaccines, they were like, oh my God, this person got fired. This person got fired because he exposed the truth about the vaccine. This person got fired because he exposed Dr. Fauci. Isn't this an example of how we authoritarian state? That's what the right wing used to say all the time, remember? Now, those same phony right-wingers, those same people are silent now. Now that people are being targeted in a way worse way than people were targeted on COVID. People losing their jobs in the tunes of thousands. There are constantly stories about like this. People losing their jobs because they post Free Palestine on social media. Once again, thank God I work for myself. Thank God I freed myself from them shackles. Because I would have been fired, fam, if I was still at Toyota. If I was still selling cars, I would have got fired a long time ago. Why? Because I had the audacity to stand with the Palestinian people. So the right-wingers who were like, oh my God, we lived through big pharma authoritarianism. They was jealous. They was jealous that they was not the people that was censoring their political opponent. And who was the number one people telling you that? Why do right-wingers, why are they not comfortable watching RBN, but they comfortable watching other channels? Because other channels like, ooh, the right wing, they stand up for free speech, they stand up for authoritarianism. And then meanwhile, RBN, we was like, no, they're not. We wouldn't say the easy thing for clicks and likes. The entire time, I was like, the right wing is full of shit on these issues. And I brought up specifically Israel. And I am very glad that I've been vindicated on that. I want to get to our next story here. I think this is a good transition. You had the Intercept. Now, this is going back to our coverage of Hamas, why people view anyone saying that Hamas are not terrorists, that they support Hamas. Like, people like, do you condemn Hamas? Like, no, I hope Hamas wins, bro. Like, what are you talking about? I want the liberation and the freedom of the Palestinian people. That kind of shit that will get me in trouble, right? But if you are for resisting imperialism, if you're an anti-colonialist, what do you mean you don't support Hamas? What do you mean? These are occupied people, victims of the most violent, genocidal, fascist ideology that we have seen in my lifetime. The new Nazis. We see a new Auschwitz right now in southern Gaza. But you guys talking about, oh, I don't think Hamas can resist that. Get out of here. Get out of here. And one of the reasons why people had these cartoonish suspicions of Hamas is because we are the most propagandized country in the world. You have independent media like Crystal Ball saying, oh, I don't support Hamas. I don't support what Hamas does here. You have the Intercept that constantly condemns Hamas as well. You have all these people that they cover completely uncritically the coverage that comes out of Israel. Israel is a country that lied about killing civilians. They lied about killing Shireen Abdul-Akleh. So I'm asking people, after their constant lies, after they was caught lying that Hamas had a headquarters in Al-Shifa Hospital, let alone every single lie they ever told before that, Why would anyone ever take anything Israel ever say seriously ever again after the Al-Shifa Hospital PSYOP? The most embarrassing PSYOP attempt, to the point where the Washington Post and the BBC called them out on this. They as pro-Israel as it gets, but they couldn't be seen with that amateur propaganda. So after the Al-Shifa Hospital, the onus is on the Israel supporters. Oh, Nick, you saying you don't believe that Hamas beheaded babies? Of course not. Why would you believe anything Israel said? Because when they said that Hamas beheaded 40 babies, what did we say? We said on RBN, there is no way that happened. And then it later came out that Israel lied. Israel retracted that statement. The IDF retracted that statement. But despite that retraction, you have Western media outlets that still to this day still repeat the 40 beheaded babies. They still repeat the 1,200,000 dead. It is now known that Israel killed the majority of the civilians. And then if you look at the people that Hamas killed, a lot of them was IDF military, not civilians. That's why the number keeps shrinking. Among the civilians who did die, Israel killed them. You have Israel that fired tank shells into houses. Why would you do that unless you want to maximize the amount of civilian casualties? So once again, these are thoughts that are not allowed. These are wrong thoughts in America. But I need people to explain this to me. If you did not want to maximize civilian casualties, why are you shooting tank shells in people's houses when your job is to defend the people? Why are you indiscriminately bombing and attacking cars? Why would a terrorist be in the car? Why do you guys burn Israelis alive in their own cars unless you want to maximize the civilian casualties? But despite this, you have corporate media and you have a ton of independent media that uncritically repeats all this propaganda that's come from Israel. The Intercept and The Nation being one of them. So the Intercept attacked Aaron Mate and Max Blumenthal because you guys know Grayzone, friend of RBN. We have all these people on. I just had Kit Clarenberg on. I just had Wyatt Reed on not too long ago. I'm a big fan and I'm a big advocate of the Grayzone, unapologetically. They do fantastic anti-imperialist reporting, which is why they are the victims of a lot of smear jobs. Look at their Wikipedia page, for example. Look at what people say about them on corporate media. Look at the fact that the Intercept and The Nation constantly try to snipe at them. And they are afraid of saying their name, of course. So let me read this out. This is from Aaron Mate. In The Intercept, Judith declares, one thing is true. Hamas and other Palestinian militants committed unspeakable sexual violence against Israeli civilians on October 7th. She adds, and listen to this part, fam. She adds, some individuals and extreme left organizations have denied these atrocities or upheld them as justified resistance. Who do you think she's talking about there? Obviously, she's talking about me, but they don't know me. So they're talking about the Grayzone. Aaron knows they're talking about the Grayzone. Because apparently at the Intercept, there's no critical thinking allowed. No challenging of government narratives allowed. So do you guys know that there is a document called Jericho Wall? Do you guys know what Jericho Wall was about? So Israel knew about Hamas's plan beforehand. And after October 7th, it was revealed that Jericho Wall was very, very accurate. And that's why Netanyahu and the IDF, they took a lot of heat. I have a video about this. Maybe I can pull it up. Let's see, Jericho Wall. So in Operation Jericho Wall, they put Chris Jericho. No, I'm looking for the Operation Jericho Wall, not Chris Jericho. God damn it. But Jericho Wall was the detailed plan of Hamas. They didn't know exactly when it was going to happen, but they knew the plan. And it was very accurate. They predicted that Hamas may fly in using parachutes. And when you look at the October 7th operation, it was very well prepared, well detailed, right? And during the October 7th attack, it was timed. It was an extremely precise attack. And when you have a military operation where you plan to take hostages as well, when you got to go against the IDF and the main objective is to catch them off guard, speed in this operation is probably the most important thing. And in Operation Jericho Wall, they described checkpoints. They had checkpoints that had timed intervals where soldiers got to be at. This is how they do these operations, right? Time is of the essence. So not only are you doing this complicated military operation, you then have to worry about Apache helicopters shooting at you. You then have the IDF shooting at you. So what the Intercept and what everyone in the United States and what everyone in dumb Western society will have you believe is during this extremely high pressure, high stakes, one chance operation where speed is essential, these Hamas militants, despite all their training, despite how important this is, they took time during this operation to commit mass rape. That not only did they commit mass rape, it was gang rape, according to these unproven testimonies. Mass soldiers cuddle up over one person, mass raping them. They're doing this, fam, as Apache helicopters have been confirmed shooting at them. So as Apache helicopters are shooting at these people, they are so horny they can't stop themselves from raping women as they get shot up by Apache helicopters. Guys, do you guys know there was hundreds of Hamas operatives that died on October 7th? They don't tell you that. Hundreds of Hamas operatives died on October 7th. So it was a very dangerous situation, very high stakes, and speed, it would kept people alive. But they would have you believe that they was committing mass rape, that they would spend their time taking families and torturing them, all this stuff that's unconfirmed. And now, this could make sense if the operation was not successful. If October 7th make your stomach crawl, if you want to condemn October 7th, fine. But like Scott Ritter said, and like many non-biased military analysts have said, October 7th, objectively, is one of the most successful military operations we have ever seen in the modern era of war. Hamas completely took the IDF off guard, took hundreds of hostages, killed hundreds of IDF members, and they started the negotiation process that got Palestinians that was imprisoned in Israeli prisons for years freed. So this operation was a success. So you guys want me to believe that despite pulling off this successful operation where speed is essential, that they committed mass rape, that was sloppy, ineffective, they spent all their time doing these random atrocities that would take God know how long. When you listen to some of these stories, God know how long that would take for the soldiers to do this. As Apache helicopter shooting at them. You guys see how this is just basic critical thinking that the Hill, that the Intercept, that the nation does not have. The Grayzone have it. We have it. These are things that makes zero sense, and the government tells you this with a straight face, and most people just eat it up. And we know this is covers exactly why we are getting throttled so bad. This person said, I've been unsubscribed this month over 20 times. CJ, I know you're watching. Look at this. CJ, screenshot this shit. This is exactly what we've been talking about. Ever since October 7th, bro, they were trying their best to kill our channel. We are still here. We've been through bad suppression before, but this is the worst it's ever been. This person said, I've been unsubscribed this month over 20 times. 6 times in the last 3 days. You must be hitting a nerve. CJ, we already know. We already do. That's why we beg of you guys to please share these streams. Please like. And the only reason RBN reached where we are right now is by word of mouth. We are not one of these channels that was boosted by the algorithm. You guys know what we're talking about here. Every single subscriber we got, we fought for. You guys shared our channel. They checked us out and they liked us, right? That's the only reason we grow. And this content and this reporting, the only reason why they suppress our channel. If you guys think what I'm doing is valuable, exposing government lies, then please subscribe, help us out during this dark period. So let's continue to the Grayzone exposing the Intercept. So you guys see Judith, this is Judith right here. Apparently she worked for the Intercept. She was accusing, I'm not trying to be funny here. They accusing people of apologizing for the sexual assault that didn't happen. So let me read Aaron's tweet. The nation's Catholic Polit likewise declares that Hamas fighters raped Israeli women and girls on October 7th, and that one has to be a conspiracist or rape the knowledge to question that. You guys just heard me completely dismantle the idea that this happened. And fam, we are, 11 weeks? 12 weeks? After October 7th? And they still can't provide physical evidence. If you guys think there was physical evidence that this happened, they wouldn't have produced it. All of these stories are testimonials where they're not even giving people names a lot of the time. They said we don't want to share this person's identity, but this person said actually, let me explain like this. I actually read a lot of them. I'm one of the few people who actually read a lot of testimonies. Do you guys know one of the testimonies they used? The person, they said they survived on October 7th because he smeared himself with blood and he hid himself in a pile of dead bodies. So a lot of people don't read these stories. So this is the story. Remember the story about that teenager that was raped by 14 Palestinians, they shot her head? The person they got that story for, and during this extremely traumatic incident, and if you know anything about trauma, during these incidents, your memory is foggy, things get weird with your adrenaline, right? So during this extremely dramatic situation where there are a ton of dead people around them, they think they're going to die. And the only way they survived is they hid in a pile of dead bodies and smeared blood over themselves. Despite the situation, this person was able to perfectly identify what this person looked like as a beautiful Israeli woman. They was able to perfectly quote the Israeli soldiers when they said, we about to rape you, we about to kill you. And she was like, I'm sorry, please don't kill me. Please don't rape me, you're going to kill me anyway. He had all these super specific quotes. Are you telling me he had all these quotes? He knew everything that was going on as he was in a pile of dead bodies, as October 7th was going on. A lot of these stories make no sense. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Okro, thank you. That's the person who was like, she had the face of an angel. And he was like, there was 13 Hamas militants. So during this situation where you're in a pile of dead bodies, blood all over you, you're scared that you're going to die, you are counting exactly how many Hamas people are there. You know exactly how many people were there. You know exactly what you look like. You know exactly what everyone said. These stories does not add up at face value, fam. And once again, if they have physical evidence, they would have produced it. So I'll shut up now. I'm sorry. There's a lot to say. So to finish this segment, I'll read Aaron and Mac's tweets because they do a good job covering this stuff. This is a desperate attack by the nation, the Intercept, and the social democrat left, the weak pro-imperialist left that they don't know how to really resist imperialism. So they hate Hamas. They hate anyone who would help clean up and clear up the lies about Hamas. So let's continue. Here's Aaron. I know you guys probably think I'm some crazy radical Negro, right? Now, here's Aaron, the respectable journalist. Everyone loves Aaron. He's a award-winning journalist. He's acceptable. I'm not. RBN is not. We are not acceptable people. So this is what he say. Out of hundreds of October 7th witnesses, only one person gave testimony claiming to have witnessed sexual violence, and their story is outlandish, including mutilation and necrophilia. Yeah, there's one story, and once again, they can't help themselves. They go so cartoonish. One story said Hamas people was raping dead Israelis, like dead corpse. So remember, during this operation, Apache helicopters are firing at them, tank shells going everywhere, and you see a dead body, like, nigga, I gotta go. I'm so horny. I can't help myself. I don't care if I get hit with a tank shell. I don't care if this Apache helicopter fucks me up. I don't care if an IDF soldier comes. I just gotta get off on this dead body. Who believes this other than the most unhinged racist? And this is why they do this. This is the projection of the savage. They say the same thing about black people. They said black people are savages that can't help but rape the white women. And then they said about indigenous Native Americans. They say, they're just filthy savages that gotta rape the white women. And white people believe them. And now the new enemy, the Palestinians, the Muslims, they said the Muslims and Palestinians, they are savages that can't help but rape women and dead bodies. And white people believe it every time because they are violent. Many of them are violent racists, and they are willing to allow thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of children to die because they hate brown people. And I'm tired of people lying about it. Why would anyone believe these insane stories unless you already have a negative perception of what a brown person would do? And there are a lot of people that scared to talk about, you can't talk about race now, bro. It hurts my white feelings. No, this is the reality. This is the reality. For all the people, even my friend Jimmy, I like Jimmy. But this whole thing he's doing, we're like, racism is real. Bullshit, man. How you think they getting away with the genocide, Jimmy? This shit right here. The people just blindly painting brown people as racists, as rapists, and people just believe it. People see Ukrainian children dead, and it melted the heart of liberals. Meanwhile, Palestinian died to the tune of the thousands. Thousands of children was amputated without anesthesia. Meanwhile, white America, oh, just the cost of war. And you guys think that's not racism? Jimmy, my brother, do you really think that's not racism? That's absurd. So let me continue Aaron's tweet. Only one person gave testimony claiming to have witnessed sexual violence, and their story is outlandish, including mutilation and necrophilia, and undermined by another witness. Another purported witness emerged nearly 2 months later, and their story is even more ridiculous than the first individual. And this is the person I was talking about. This man claimed to have witnessed the gang rape of a beautiful woman with a face of an angel, followed by seeing a woman's head rolling on the ground after being dismembered with a shovel. So remember, fam, as this person is going through this traumatic incident, can you imagine? Like, I'm not a scientist, but you guys know what trauma does to people. People have a hard time remembering traumatic events. This is what people were talking about during the Me Too era. Like, rape victims, they have a hard time remembering what happened because the event is so traumatic, it fucks their memory up. So this person going through one of the craziest military operations we've seen, seeing heads rolling on the ground, dead bodies, a gang rape, he's got perfect memory, though, of everything. Let's continue. Where did I leave? Oh, there it is. There are a lot of reading here. I don't want to short it, so I'll spend my time on the segment if I have to. Rape claims have been made by Israeli group Zaka, which has been caught lying about beheaded babies and other atrocities. To allege rape, Israel used a photo of a Kurdish woman taken outside of Israel, and then it quietly deleted it. Once again, in any rational society, stuff like this would make it so everything you say should be scrutinized. And most people have the I believe Israel to prove otherwise premise. I promise you guys, live the way I do. Don't believe anything that Israel said until proven otherwise. And that has helped me tremendously. And I see through the line of this propaganda. Now, first take time, you guys see how Aaron is completely destroying this talking point. Now, here's Max Blumenthal. The editors of The Intercept and The Nation have not demanded a single piece of evidence from writers stating matter of fact that Palestinian militants committed mass rape on October 7th. They thus allowed their publication to provide a progressive seal of legitimacy to the Israeli government hoax. Now, I want to read that again because I phoned my words a little bit. So The Intercept and The Nation, they are using their publication as quote-unquote progressives to give shield and provide the progressive seal for this hoax that is being waged by the Israeli government. Talk about an absolutely disgusting way to use your platform. And these people think they are anti-establishment. Ryan Graham thinks he's good on intro because he said, oh, I don't like Benjamin Netanyahu. He's a bad guy. Ryan Graham said stuff like, oh, I think bombing kids is bad. So that means I'm pro-Palestinian. No, you guys are not. You guys are posting Israeli propaganda uncritically. Do you guys think that I'm smarter than Ryan Graham? Do you guys think I'm smarter than these people at The Intercept All these people have college degrees. All these people have masters. All these people, they traveled the globe. These people have been to Gaza. These people have been to Brazil. These people have been in the Middle East. These people travel all over the country. I'm just some black boy who a college dropout who barely travel. I live in the Midwest, but I read. But do you guys think that I'm smarter than them? There is zero chance of that. Meanwhile, they want you to believe that they don't see through the propaganda that I thoroughly just destroyed over the last 20 minutes. The propaganda that you guys seen that Max Blumenthal and Aaron Mate is destroying. So let's continue. I'm like, bro, Max is crushing them here. They allow their publications to provide a progressive seal of legitimacy to an Israeli government hoax, which was itself designed to generate consent for a genocidal assault that has left over 21,000 people dead thus far. And Max Blumenthal is not being harsh there. That is the exact fucking truth. If you publish Israeli propaganda uncritically, you are an active agent in helping Israel commit the genocide, whether you know it or not. All these people who spread bullshit about Hamas, they are helping provide cover for Israel to commit their genocide. What Max said is spot on. Now listen to this, because you guys think I'm harsh. Listen to Max. This is not just journalistic malpractice. It is the latest instance of these liberal legacy publications laundering disinformation in the service of catastrophic regime change wars by a U.S. NATO ally. We will demand a right of reply to Kathy Pollitt, the notoriously sloppy Blue Annan propagandist who perfectly embodies the nation post-Cockburn decline. In taking aim at me and Aaron, maliciously painting us as misogynistic, rape denialists. Jesus Christ, they say that? I must have missed that when I did my prep. So they called Max and Aaron, what? I missed that. Wow. So they called them, or they was painting Aaron as Max and Max as misogynistic, rape denialists, and conspiracists. Kathy not only erased the many Palestinian and Muslim women who have also called out Israel's Hamas mass rape hoax, she ignored the substance of our critique, which we outlined in painstaking fashion at the Grayzone. And that's where he highlighted Aaron's tweet. So at the Grayzone, where they actually do real journalism, they completely exposed the bullshit talking point of Israel. Meanwhile, the deeply unserious journalists at The Nation and Intercept, they took what Israel said today, they took what Israel said about October 7th, and they published it uncritically. Exactly what MSNBC and what CNN would do. I said it before. What is the point of independent media that does the same exact thing as corporate media? Someone who is an amazing corporate media channel, someone that I am extremely proud of. Like, Sabby is taking over, fam. Like, she had like 1.7 thousand viewers her last stream, bro. It is the Sabby era that we are in right now. And it's because Sabby does real journalism. It's because Sabby, despite not being part of the approved professional managerial class, she actually questions Israel. And Sabby explains how there's absolutely no proof that this person exists. And look at this. She does not want to be fully identified, saying she will be hounded for the rest of her life. How convenient. How convenient that there all their testimonies end like that, right? So I guess I get some super chats. I can end the segment there. Let's get some super chats. Let me put some up here. I see if y'all don't want to get too behind. We have one more segment today. Oh yeah, the Nikki. Oh no, we got two more. God damn it. We got 2 more segments today. We're gonna get them done. Nikki Haley is next. And a story that makes me very happy. I have a hotspot video coming out on this, so I don't have to spend that much time on it. But Iraq is planning on kicking out the United States again, and this is following over 100 attacks on U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria. Because they are illegally occupying another country. So hopefully I can get those last 2 stories in for today. I hope you guys enjoying the show. This is the new project at RBN, my new project heading into 2024. Nick at Night Season 2, fam. People are like, where's Nick at Night been? Nick at Night been gone for a while, hasn't it? Nick at Night Season 2 starts January 4th. And I had to do a few of these pilot shows, you know what I mean? Make sure I got everything running correctly. I did another pilot show earlier this week. So we have Nick at noon on Saturday, because we got to have Nick at Night Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, so 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Saturday, Nick at noon will be 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's the start of my own show. And me and CJ, we're still going to be doing shows together. We're going to be doing a lot of collaborations and guest spots, but it's been a long time since I had like 100% intellectual control. So I'm looking forward to having my show back. I hope you guys support it. Hope you guys mark Tuesday and Thursday evening on your calendar and Saturday at noon, because that's where I'll be live. So let's get some super chats in, and I'll get to the last 2 segments. After that, I'll read the super chats that come in afterwards. So thank you for the super chat from our friend GV Black. Share the stream now to all your friends and family. Or I wouldn't say that. You're not going to be cursed if you don't share it. I would just deeply appreciate it. They said, you will be cursed. I won't wish that on you, but I want, like, you guys see the insane shit that YouTube is doing to our channel, the insane suppression, and it no surprise that it was starting around October 7th. The Ukraine war really fucked our channel up as well, but it's okay. We are here to educate the proletariat, and nothing gonna really stop us. The only thing that helps us grow is when you guys share, though, like JV Black says. So big shout out to them. Thank you for the 999. As a survivor, I find using false rape allegations for a political game absolutely reprehensible and repugnant. Absolutely. A woman doing it should have her woman card revoked. Oh, this is powerful. Also, we should mass boycott Target. Absolutely. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Target boycotting after the recent revelation. The same thing, I hate liberals who bastardize racial struggle, because it ruins the real Black revolutionaries who fight to end racial injustice, right? It's bastardized when you have a motherfucker like Eric Adams and Jim Clyburn and all these Black shit libs that bastardize what it is. What's poppin', Rome? Give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready. I see you in the background. I'm glad I'm having my brother join me for our next few segments here. This is thank you for the $2. Mosaic, I'll put you in here whenever you're ready to roam. Please start your own channel, Nick. I won't support JB. How dare you? How dare you? Fam, who's doing more than JB right now? There are a lot of ops, man. They try to divide RBN. I see it all the time. You guys are not dividing us. You CIA motherfuckers are not dividing us. I see through you. You guys know JBE got dialysis. You know he's disabled. And he started a mutual aid organization in Orlando. Who the fuck is doing more than JB? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong? This is a Fed, fam. This is Fed ass shit. Who is doing more than JB? This guy, you guys have no idea. I'm not gonna air all this issue, but you guys have no idea what JB goes through. But despite that, he started his own mutual aid organization. Who the fuck does that? He goes on and educates people. He reads theory. People always talk about, oh my God, Nick and CJ, how dare you guys have fun? We do fun segments. I do segments having fun sometimes. I think it's important to have fun, even when educating people sometimes and stuff. But JB, he goes on the channel, he reads theory. He educates people.
JB has the most substantive channel on YouTube, period. And that's why he don't get the clicks that other people do. Because while other people are doing bullshit videos, JB is reading history. JB is telling you guys about the struggle. JB is doing the story that I can't watch sometimes because it's heartbreaking. I'm a softy at heart. Me and CJ talk about all the time. I don't like being engrossed in black trauma and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But JB covers that stuff, even though it's hard, because it has to be covered. So I'm gonna say this.
I don't worry, man.
I'll pass it on unequivocally. Anyone who tries to divide RBN, fuck you. Fuck you sincerely. There's been a ton of people that try to do it, and it's not going to happen. Fuck you, Mosaic, and fuck anyone who tried to divide our movement. This shit is not a game. I know a lot of you guys treat this shit as a game on YouTube. Fuck you. Do you guys have any idea what JB has done? Fuck you. JB, Rob, anything you want to add? That shit is so ridiculous.
For the simple fact that the man is going through what he's going through with dialysis and so much shit, you know, in his personal life, and he still have the time to go out here, like you said, and teach people, reach people, feed people. You know, he's doing something for the kids now. This is what we mean by revolutionary discipline. A lot of you don't have it. See, the thing with, you know, whoever this person is, whoever that person was, I feel like they was mad at me and JB for saying what we said, that you cannot.
They got celebrity worship, man. These people are so counter-revolutionary. Like, you know, these people that all the fuck they do is talk about these personality, and they get mad if you don't like the personality they like. They are counter-revolutionary, and I am about tired of them. At this point, there's so much going on. I am tired of counter-revolutionaries, man. I am tired of social democrats. I am tired of these people who resist revolution. I am tired of these people who infiltrate movements and try to divide it. Like the people at Black Power Media, all these fucking fat ass motherfuckers who do nothing but, oh, I'm gonna infiltrate a movement. You should hate JB. You should hate Rome. You should hate CJ. Hey, you see what Savvy said? You see what Nick said? You guys are CIA, man. Fuck you guys. You guys kind of threw me off, but that shit pisses me off, man. This shit really does. See,
man, JB is a fucking superhero, man. But the thing is, people, like you said, they need to get over that celebrity worship and see. We never really got out of that thing because a lot of these people come from the Tulsi Gabbard movements, the Bernie Sanders movements, and whatnot, and they all idled these people, not like politicians. They idled them like celebrities, and they grow these relationships with them. And it's the same with the podcaster. So if we call out a podcaster or somebody that's doing a show, that don't mean that we don't like them. We just disagree with what they are saying. But JB is a superhero. I aspire to be like that man every day, because man, I wouldn't be doing the shit that he's doing if I was in that condition. No way.
So you got, and JB talked about when Rome and JB did mutual aid in Orlando, man. JB explained how he was exhausted, man. That's hard work. Like Rome is an active motherfucker. He's bouncing around the walls. I've been with this dude. He can't chill. But bro, JB go through a lot. He does way more than all you guys. None of us is perfect. None of us beyond the pale. But this shit right here, where this guy tried to divide us, this is unacceptable. Start your own channel? No, I'm here for a reason. This is bigger than me. I'm not trying to be a celebrity. We are starting a movement. If I wanted to be a celebrity, I would stay on Twitch. I would stay doing my own thing. It was going well. But anyway, let's move on. I don't want to get too hijacked. Thank you for the $5. Almir, we stand with the Palestinians. I shit on YouTube censorship and the Lion Zionists. Thank you for the 5. I don't know what the currency is, but thank you for the $5 there, Amir. But hope you they were $5. Oh, Carl, I told you guys, bro, the Nick Cruise show, the Nick at Night, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Tuesday to Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. You got this is what the show's gonna be like every damn time. Every damn time. Cause like me and CJ, we got great like synergy or whatever. Like I don't want to just like rant all fucking day while he's just sitting there waiting. You know what I mean? So there's times where it's better to like do a solo show, you know what I mean? Instead of just me being the guy who's just talking the entire time. But as always, as you guys see, we're on all the RBN fans will be welcome to join us. I'm gonna have a lot of one-on-one interviews on my show as well. So if you guys enjoying this, mark Tuesday, Thursday evening on your calendar. The Brits destroyed the Irish people as well, and that's why the Irish stand with the Palestinians. This is another base super chat from Janice. All the media outlets spreading could be prosecuted for inciting genocide. What she says, perfectly said. They're illegally culpable under international law genocide convention. Absolutely. It's what I just read. Right? So I appreciate you guys I appreciate you guys being tolerant of my like mini meltdown there. But let's have some fun. Let's go back to the stories. I have two more. I definitely want to get to. Here, let me pull this video up. Ro, have you seen the Nikki Haley video? The Nikki Haley Civil War thing that everyone's freaking out about. You see it?
Yeah, I see it. Oh
So
God,
to start the statement off, I'm not gonna say RBN vindicated because it was obvious and not vindicated. Everyone knew that Nikki Haley was unhinged, right? But look at the title of this MSNBC video. So these MSNBC shitlibs and the Democratic Party try to do everything they can to make Nikki Haley a thing. And I'm explaining throughout the course of this video, they pretend it's for all these bullshit reasons that she's a moderate, she's well-tempered. She is absolutely not. Nikki Haley is the most unhinged candidate in the race. So I knew Nikki Haley very closely for a very long time. Like she was a Trumper. So all the Trump people think that Trump is anti-war. Trump appointed Nikki Haley, one of the most pro-war people, to a UN representative, along with John Bolton, Mike Pompeo. Trump did not drain the swamp. He is the swamp, and he hired the swamp like Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley's entire career was her being as unhinged as possible so she can wield power in South Carolina. But despite that, Trump derangement syndrome and imperialism, and hold that thought because I'm going to explain what I mean by this later. U.S. imperialism and liberals' pro-war tendency made it so they decided to completely rehabilitate Nikki Haley overnight. Because Ron DeSantis failed, and they wanted to find someone who could replace Ron DeSantis as the anti-Trump candidate. So look at the title of this video, and I'm going to let the segment play. Feel free to chime in anytime you want, Rome. Look at the title. Nikki Haley's Civil War distortions shatter moderate campaign image. You mean the image that you guys manufactured? But anyway, let's watch this because I might do one of these segments with CJ because the segments come from MSNBC and CNN in light of Nikki Haley destroying it and tanking her campaign had been pure cope because they've been rooting for her openly. I mean, Rome, I know you don't watch this garbage like we do, but bro, it's like they don't hide it. Like they're openly rooting for Nikki Haley to beat Trump here. So after this happened, it was exposed that Nikki Haley is as dumb as a dumbass as Donald Trump. They are now in complete shambles, and these segments been gold. Rome, anything you want to add before I move on and we play the clip? You want to chime in?
I just want to say, didn't they try to do this with another white lady? She was blonde. She was blonde. I can't remember her name. Liz. Yeah. I'm like, it's the same old shit every time, man. But it's gonna fail because they just ticking time bombs. You can't hide nothing like that, you know?
Yeah. So that's exactly what Rome is doing, Nancy. Rome is trying to protect his brain cell by not watching this shit. Fam, I didn't watch this shit before. I do it because I have a role to play in the movement now. I'm here to point out and educate people about propaganda. Back in the day, bro, I was like, bro, I'm not watching this shit no more. I didn't watch corporate media until I started my time as a citizen journalist. But anyway, funny comment, Nancy. Let's watch this video. There's a lot of talk about this, so I'll watch the video. This is a good sum up the meltdown from liberals and how disappointed they are in Nikki Haley. I don't know what they expected.
The Republican presidential primary field is filled with so many extreme candidates that former South Carolina governor and former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, is seen as the moderate of the bunch.
By who, sir? Nikki Haley is seen by us as the moderate one, sir. Now, this is what I'm covering. This exposes the corporate media and the mindset of the liberals. How insane is the average Democrat is that they see Nikki Haley and they see someone who is sane, fam. We show you guys what Nikki Haley said, and trust me, Ron, we're going to have some fun. I got a few clips for you guys to show you guys exactly how moderate Nikki Haley has been. But what does it say about liberals that Nikki Haley has been batshit insane? Like I'm going to show you throughout the course of this segment. And they're like, oh, she's a moderate. What does it say about you? That's a damning omission, and that's a damning fact against your own channel. So let's continue. Roman, you want to chime in? Go ahead.
No, man, go ahead. I want to get started on it.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Let's continue.
But yesterday, we got a reminder of what moderate means among the Republican presidential candidates these days.
What was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do.
Actually, Governor, it was incredibly easy.
Bro, imagine if Donald Trump said that shit.
Oh,
Like, this is the person. Drone, you want to chime in, Rome? Go ahead.
Oh,
Go for it,
no.
man.
I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute. But, dog, why she just fucking freeze out like that? Like, she just fucking, her brain just broke in real time.
Absolutely. And there's a point in that, and that's an important comment, Rome, where she asked the voter, what do you want me to say about slavery? And that's my favorite part. Because what does that reveal? I told you guys, these people are puppets in a suit who always looking, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Come on, how do I get out of this situation? And Rome, liberals in the corporate media praise Nikki Haley for her ability to bullshit workers. They view that as a positive. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time. Let's continue because there's going to be a lot of funny stuff to cover here.
Question. Unfortunately for Haley, her response conspicuously lacked the only correct answer.
In the year 2023, it's astonishing to me that you answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
What do you want me to say about slavery?
That exposes her as that's every snake-like politician ever. She's stumped. She got hit with a hard question. Oh, what do you want me to say? What can I say to trick you for me?
It wasn't even a hard question. All she had to do was say slavery. All she had to do was say some people wanted to take over the government. We weren't having it. She could have said that. The Union wasn't having the Confederates wanting to take over the United States. She could have said that and got the fuck on. But there you go, drop the ball, because in her heart, she's a fucking crazy lady. Like, I don't get who the fuck even supports somebody like this. This is crazy.
Bro, Morning Joe and all this shit lives love her. They love her. Let's continue. Because I'm going to show you guys something about the Civil War. Because you guys know I'm a history nerd. The liberals are not correct on this either. You guys know that? Because those liberals and people who love the establishment and Western chauvinists, they spend all their time cleaning up the image of the United States. So there is one thing that is true. South Carolina and the South seceded from the nation because of slavery. One thing that is not true is that the North went to war with South because of slavery. Abraham Lincoln went to war with the South because the South seceded from the nation. So I'm going to tell you some stuff about history that they don't tell you in school. So the South will win the war. Why do you guys think General Lee, what's his full name? General Lee, that guy? Why do you guys think he considered one of the greatest generals of all time? Because he lost? No, he was whooping their ass. And one thing that was about to happen because the Confederacy was winning was, and this is why they don't tell you this history, because it made the UK and Europe look bad. So the UK and Europe was about to support the Confederacy. You guys know that? Because they wanted this war to come to an end. It was hurting their economy, this war. So they decided, like, all right, if it doesn't end anytime soon, we're going to support the South and the Confederacy, so this will be over with. So then, in order to turn the tides of the war, that's when Abraham Lincoln, after very long consideration, like look at the date between when the war started and when Abraham Lincoln gave his Gettysburg address calling out slavery. There's a long time between then because they didn't want to make it about slavery. They wanted to make it about unifying the nation, and then they come together and they come to term. Abraham Lincoln's original goal wasn't to abolish slavery. It was to only contain it to the South. So now the South found that unacceptable because the South wanted to expand slavery, so which ultimately led to war. So it wasn't about ending slavery. People like to say that because it made the United States look good, but it wasn't about that. So as the North was losing the war, then the North made a fantastic move. This is what made Abraham Lincoln a legend. He decided to make the war about slavery. Now, don't get twisted. Abraham Lincoln was a writer. He wrote about abolition. He protested about abolition, but he's a politician. So he never planned on really doing anything about it. So as he was about to lose the war, which will result in his execution, because a lot of people in the South wanted to kill him, he decided, all right, let's make it about slavery. So what happened because of that? Then the UK in Europe decided not to back the South in the Confederacy because they didn't want to see themselves. They didn't want to paint their image as siding with the side that supported slavery. So then Europe decided not to support the Confederacy because of this brilliant move that Abraham Lincoln made. He made it about a moral war. Then the world starts supporting them. Then the tide of the world changes. This is stuff they don't tell you because it make our country and make Europe it doesn't make them look good because they want to tell you the story that the United States, they just wanted to end slavery once and for all. That's not what happened. It was a great move to decide that the Civil War to make it about slavery. But the North didn't want to end slavery. So this is what Nikki Haley gets wrong, though. Her state pulled out because of slavery. They said specifically that they want to keep slavery. So the South was fighting for slavery. That's why you say that the Civil War fight over slavery because it fall over the South right to fight for slaves. But I want to add that piece of knowledge because I want people to understand it is not as simple as you guys are going to hear this guy point out.
About slavery.
What do you want me to say about slavery? That is the supposed moderate in the Republican primary right now. So weak. And today, after a wave of backlash for her comments, Haley attempted a cleanup tour. Here she was on a New Hampshire radio show this morning.
Of course, the Civil War was about slavery. We know that. That's the easy part of it. What I was saying was, what does it mean to us today? What it means to us today is about freedom. That's what that was all about. It was about individual freedom. It was about economic freedom. It was about individual rights.
Individual rights.
Sure. The Civil War was about individual freedom, unless you were an enslaved Black person whose freedom was denied at birth. Sure, it was about economic freedom, unless you were an enslaved Black person whose nation-building labor was bred, violently coerced, and uncompensated. Sure.
Bro, imagine how much of a shit lib or how horrible you have to be to make it seem like this guy is destroying you, like Nikki Haley. That's how, because anyone can make these points, right? One more thing I want to add to what I was saying earlier. The North accepted Black people to fight for the Civil War. They was fighting to end slavery. One thing that is not talked about is that there was a big divide on the North about the end game. Luckily, the abolitionist movement won, but there was a large side of the North that wanted to win the war and then allow the slaves to remain. They didn't win. Thank God they didn't win that argument. But I don't want people to understand it wasn't the North were fighting to free the slaves. And I know I may be nitpicking here, but when I've been watching people cover this story, they've been covering it wrong. Like in response to Nikki Haley, they would say, "Oh no, we wanted to free the slaves. That's why we waged the war." Like no. Now you're doing what Nikki Haley is doing. You're kind of revisionism.
And we got to keep it real. You know, Abraham Lincoln, like he was explaining, he used Black bodies. He used Black bodies, and then when the war was over, he was like, "Yeah, I'm done with these niggas. Let's ship them back to Africa." That's fact. It's crazy, but yeah, that's why I don't get why people try to paint any of these presidents like, "Oh, well, he wasn't the racist president." Get the fuck, man. Come on now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play maybe another minute of this, and then I'm gonna show you guys why liberals are in shambles, because their image that they were trying to paint as Nikki Haley as a moderate has been completely destroyed because of this. Like everyone, like she's been dragged by everyone across the aisle over this. So her calculation of, I'm gonna say this to win over the Trumpers, wrong, because she's getting destroyed over this. We see what happens in the polls, but the right-wing media, MAGA media, not happy about her. So let's watch just a little bit more of this, and then we continue. It'll probably be the last segment. I'll do the Iraq segment tomorrow or some other time. This will be a last segment for today. Let's continue.
It was about individual rights. Unless you were enslaved in a nation where a chunk of the country seceded from the Union and went to war because it wanted to continue to deny you those very freedoms.
All right, guys. All right. You're right, bro. You're right. Listen. I already talked too long in this segment because this person is 100% right. When he said they never did end slavery, the 13th Amendment codified slavery. Yeah, you're right, man. I'm trying to say, I already went a long time. You're 100% right. Capitalism does not exist without slavery. We still got slavery to this day. I was just keeping it simple, but I want you guys to keep that in mind. That comment is 100% right. But just for simplicity, we can go with their narrative that slavery, quote unquote, slavery ended. And even that, you see their story behind it was wrong. That's what I was trying to point out. But I understand that now. I don't 100% acknowledge your point, though. But let's continue.
And Nikki Haley should know all of that. Haley was the governor of South Carolina, the first state to secede in the Civil War, a state that made its reasoning incredibly clear. The opening sentence of South Carolina's 1860 proclamation seceding from the Union directly mentions slavery. And the proclamation goes on to cite, quote, increasing hostility on the part of non-slaveholding states to the institution of slavery as the state's explicit reason for leaving the Union. When Haley was asked about the cause of the Civil War back then, in 2010, she described it as a fight over, quote, tradition versus change.
I think it was tradition versus change is the way I see it.
Tradition versus change on what?
On individual rights and liberty of people.
Whose rights, Nikki Haley?
Bro, Rome, he's so tired. Bro, and the reason why they sound like this because they are so mad. They are so disappointed because they wanted her to win.
They put all that PR for her for nothing.
Yeah, think about this. She said that in 2010, fam. And the media didn't cover this, but the reason why that person asked Nikki Haley that question was because he was from South Carolina and he knew what Nikki Haley's position on that was. So he wanted to quiz her on that as you run for president. So this has been an ongoing issue. So despite the fact that Nikki Haley has these statements on record, why would you ever try to paint her as the moderate? You guys see? You guys know why? You guys see why I have been going crazy ever since this whole psyop started? Because I knew about this about Nikki Haley. Anyone who knew about politics knew about Nikki Haley was the new Sarah Palin. Like she's the AOC of the right. Like she's among that same class of fucking.
Ooh, hey, this nigga spitting.
I need to have Rome on my stream more often. He helps my self-esteem. But anyway, let's continue. Actually, I think we can wrap this up because he brings a coon in here. He brings this guy in. And once again, they do tee her up. These people are full of shit, but it's easy to tee what she set up. And it's all rooted in disappointment that, oh man, we thought she was the moderate one. No one thought that except people with Trump derangement syndrome. Now, this is where we're going to have some fun, Rome. Because I'm going to show you guys through a series of clips the person that they tried to paint as a moderate. Oh, and that title of that video, they said, oh, we thought that Nikki Haley was the moderate. This is the person. And look at this post by David Frum. This is why I said they want Nikki Haley to win because she's an unhinged neocon. We'll cover that later. Yes. David Frum says, you dunk. He's talking about the people shitting on Nikki Haley, the liberals that he teams up with Trump derangement syndrome politics. He said, you guys dunking on Nikki Haley right now. But Nikki Haley winning the GOP nomination in 2024 to present voters with a Biden-Haley choice is the pivot that pulls America off the dark timeline and onto the light one.
Where do these people live, man? I just want to know. Where do they live? I mean, like, what planet, my nigga? Because ain't no way anybody will. Bro,
these millionaires log into Twitter with their suits on, and they post political fan fiction. Like these blue checks on Twitter, these blue check establishment people post political fan fiction all day. I'll read it again because this shit's hilarious. And now I'm gonna show you guys why this is a negative reflection on you, sir. This is a negative reflection on Morning Joe. Guys, how many segments have we done on Nick and CJ with Morning Joe just saying Nikki Haley, she has to win. They love her. But he says that a Biden-Haley choice in the election is the pivot that we need to pull America off the dark timeline and onto the light one. This dude is fucking writing for Star Trek. Now, I'm going to show you some clips of this quote-unquote moderate candidate.
I'm too high for this shit.
This statement here is why the establishment likes her. But this statement is why 95% of the global population will look at Nikki Haley and they will be horrified that she came 10,000 miles within power, let alone a governor, let alone part of the UN. Nikki Haley is the most unhinged psychopath in the race. And it's not even close. I don't have to hype it up anymore. I let her speak for herself.
Where should the Palestinians go?
Well, they should be going through the Rafah Gate and Egypt take them. But I've always said that, what you should have is they should go to pro-Hamas countries, Qatar, Iran. If you send them there, Turkey, those are pro-Hamas countries. That's where they should go.
But they're on the right.
So she just come. You guys realize she just came out in favor of ethnic
cleansing. Ethnic cleansing. Not stay home. Not end the war. Not they should stay home. We should end the war. We should at least do. She could have said a ceasefire and still would have been moderate. Like what the hell?
Just casually talking about ethnic cleansing. Meanwhile, Morning Joe in the Democratic establishment is telling you guys that she's the moderate. Now, I've been telling people among the social democrat Bernie left who I've been divorced from, and I don't want to like seeing the sight of them anymore. But I used to tell them people that had Trump derangement syndrome, like, why? I mean, I talked to a friend, he's like, why are you apologizing for Trump? Like, no, I'm not. Like, bro, Trump is an idiot. Trump is just an average member of the ruling class, man. But Nikki Haley, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, if you believe that they have any sort of moral high ground or intellectual high ground on Trump, you are delusional. That is what Trump derangement means. Trump derangement is the idea that Donald Trump is somehow uniquely evil compared to Hillary Clinton. That he's uniquely evil compared to Jim Crow Joe, the most anti-black politician in the modern era. That's Trump derangement syndrome. I never had Trump derangement syndrome because people like Nikki Haley exist. And now, do you guys see why the liberals and social democrats lost me? Because I told you, when I was a teenager, I was more liberal-minded. I hated Republicans. I live in Missouri. Mm-hmm. So when I see them doing the Trump derangement syndrome shit, even as a lib, I was like, why you guys are doing this, when you pretending that Trump is evil, you guys are cleaning up for the Republican Party. You guys are legitimately making the argument that Trump is worse than Newt Gingrich? It's worse than Dick Cheney? Like, remember, guys, these are the people I had derangement with. The last time I voted for Less Too Evil was in 2012. And I grew up hating Republicans because I've seen the war, like Rick Santorum, like all these people was ghouls. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, liberals like, oh my God, we want the Republican Party to go back where we used to be. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? Trump is a 100% improvement over the Dick Cheney era. You know what I mean? They're the psychopaths in the highest order.
We need a strong Republican Party, man. What you talking about?
Yeah. And that's exactly what it said. We need a strong Republican Party, and this is why I never bought it. A strong Republican Party means more Nikki Haley's,
man.
And there's a reason why she got all them donations. Now, believe it or not, it gets worse. It gets more unhinged.
Run for their lives, taking whatever they can, their kids in tow. They're not able to get into Egypt. How are you supposed to even make it to Qatar at this point?
Isn't that telling that Egypt won't take them? Why won't Egypt take them? Because they don't trust which ones are terrorists and which ones aren't.
So Nikki Haley, as Norman Finkelstein explained, is a Nazi. She is a Nazi using Nazi talking points. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I got interrupted here because I don't want to take credit for this takedown. Go ahead, you want to chime in.
How the hell is she gonna answer a question with a question? You see how they won't take them, motherfucker? It's their land. Like, what are you talking about? Oh God, these people are fucking evil, man. These people are so evil.
Because I don't want to take credit for his takedown. Because Norman Finkelstein went super viral for his takedown of this talking point, and Nikki Haley is running a campaign. She is extremely offline, right? So she probably didn't see it. I know. Have you guys noticed that ever since Norman Finkelstein destroyed his point, I know Zionists stopped using it. This clip that's Norman Finkelstein, I'm gonna show you guys. It went so viral. I've seen people stop using this talking point that we heard Nikki Haley say because it's so devastating. So let's do it like this. I'm gonna show you guys Nikki Haley versus Norman Finkelstein.
Which ones aren't? It's a sad state. Which ones are terrorists and which ones, because they don't trust which ones are terrorists and which ones aren't. It's a sad state of affairs. But the reality of that evil is very clear in Arab countries too.
So let's listen to Norman Finkelstein's response to that.
Spread them out. You don't want them in Egypt. You don't want them in Jordan. You don't want them in Syria. You don't want them in Saudi Arabia. There's a million countries. Spread them out. Nobody wants to help them. Why?
We're going to. Any of the European countries or the United States warned Jews before the Nazi Holocaust. maybe the Jews were like the Palestinians. They were so horrible, or as the current Israeli government calls them, human animals. You think that's the reason you're smiling, but your stupid smirk won't change the fact that the very argument you used was used by Hitler.
Sir?
Your argument was used by Hitler to justify the extermination of the Jews. You're a Nazi speaking now in those kinds of arguments.
Nikki Haley is a Nazi. Nikki Haley is a Nazi. This is the moderate, Rome. I'm so used to having CJ on, but this is the moderate, Rome.
I don't see how this nigga lived that long. Because ever since I remember him when I was younger, and I used to watch him take down people in these crowds and whatnot. I'm like, damn, they haven't shut this nigga up yet.
Alan Dershowitz tried to end his career, and Alan Dershowitz has done tremendous harm to Norman Finkelstein. I don't know the story as well as he can tell it, but Norman Finkelstein famously took down Alan Dershowitz, exposed his Zionism, and he exposed his plagiarism in a debate with Democracy Now! Rome, you should join me on stage on that one day. It's super funny. So because of that, Alan Dershowitz completely destroyed him. He uses Harvard to make his academic professional life hell. So he has faced consequences. Once again, I can't tell the story as good as Norman Finkelstein does, but he has faced consequences. But I am surprised he hasn't been killed because this is kind of his thing. He goes around, he destroys the Zionist argument. So you guys see this person that is using Nazi talking points. She's literally a fucking Nazi. Liberals painted her as the moderate.
But we gotta remember, like I keep warning, these communists, these socialists. I said, don't work with liberals. Do not trust liberals. Stop trying to convert these people. There are many more people outside that can be converted. There are way more people, even on the right, that you can just convert to communism. But you don't trust a liberal. We have been telling you for hundreds and hundreds of years now, never trust a liberal. And it's like, this is why all of our movements fail, because you don't listen to your past leaders. You don't listen to Malcolm X when he said it. You don't listen to Martin Luther King when he said it. You didn't listen to Fred Hampton. You didn't listen to none of these leaders, and all of your movements are co-op. Look at DSA. It's full of fucking shit libs to the worst type of liberal-minded people ever. People that's taking up for genocide, all kind of bullshit that's going on over there. So I just want to say, do not trust the liberals, because these are the people who gave us Hitler in the first fucking place. They gave us Hitler in the first place. Their opinion should be discarded and thrown in the fucking trash bin every time they talk. I don't want to hear nothing. I can't learn nothing from a liberal, and I don't want to hear nothing from a liberal. And you should take that advice or face the consequences of your past leaders.
So we got some more lowlights. This is the Nikki Haley lowlight part. So she's a Nazi. We confirmed that. But the reason why the establishment really like Nikki Haley is not because she's the more moderate Republican. That's the lie they tell in order to sell her. The reason why they like Nikki Haley is because she's never seen a war she didn't like. Was it Boeing? I think it's Boeing, but don't quote me on it. But it was either Boeing or Raytheon. She was on board of one of the big defense contractors. I'm sorry if I don't remember right now, but she was on head of one of those boards. So that's why they like her. They like the fact that she pushes hard for the war in Ukraine, pushed for a war in China, as strongly for Israel the way she is. Everything in United States politics makes sense when you know foreign policy. People who don't know foreign policy, people who only pay attention to domestic politics, they have no idea what the hell going on, CJ. They going through politics, lost as hell. They probably like, oh, why the hell do they like Nikki Haley right now? That's kind of weird. They have no idea that this right here, the clip right here, is the real reason why they like Nikki Haley. I'll let her speak for herself.
I know Israel well enough. I dealt with them for 2 years every day, and they want to save every single life. They want to bring every hostage home. And so America should be working with them on how to do that. But you don't do that with a pause. You do that by understanding what is the threat to the hostages and what is the threat to America. The threat to all of them is Iran. Iran is waving, their flag telling Hamas what to do. They told them.
It's Iran. Rome, Iran.
Not us bombing them, you sure? It ain't us bombing the shit out of them. You know who's a real threat to the hostages? Israel. Israel killed their own hostages. Even Hamas said, hey, we have a peace treaty. We have a peace deal. If you guys want to go with it, blah, 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 you're going to respect this. We're going to respect that. They said, no, boom. Now they're not only killing civilians, Palestinian civilians, they are killing their own. So, no, miss me with that bullshit. This lady crazy as shit. I don't know how.
Bro,
this lady crazy as fuck, bro. You got to watch this show when we get back home, bro. This shit crazy.
Bro, this is
Remember when I told you Putin hit rock bottom? Hamas invaded Israel and did all that brutality on October 7th. October 7th is Putin's birthday. Who's the happiest person in the world right now? Putin. Why? Because the U.S. and the West took all their eyes off of Ukraine, and what did we do? Started looking at Israel.
So according to the big brain Nikki Haley, Rome, the reason why we have October 7th is because we did not support Ukraine enough. So because we didn't support Ukraine enough, Hamas went to thank Putin by launching an attack on his birthday.
Oh, God. Like, that would be, you know what I'm saying, all right, if we was to see Russian weapons on the ground. We don't see any Russian weapons on the ground. I don't know how Hamas would even get in touch with a person like Putin. They are not a state. They are not an army. They are a group of people that are resisting. And how the hell can I invade my own house? How the hell can I invade my own land? You guys are the invaders. Israel invaded Palestine, and y'all keep pushing them into these corners. God, bro, I'm telling you, man, we got to do something with these people. I don't want to say what I want to say.
Yeah, let's be careful. Let's be careful. We talked on the phone earlier, bro. We can't say what we said on the phone. Let's just say that. Let's just say that.
God.
So let's let me show you. This is another clip here. You guys know I do a lot of great work with Hotspot. I love Hotspot. That Nico House, our great friend, he runs Hotspot. They do great anti-imperialist coverage, and they highlight Black left content. And I love how they love picking on Nikki Haley. You got to realize that I get a lot of my Nikki Haley like oppo because the geniuses at Hotspot realize how much of a clown this person is. Because yeah, like Omar said, Nico House is based. So this is another moment of Nikki Haley's brilliance that the liberal class loves.
We really do need to ban TikTok once and for all. And let me tell you,
oh man,
every 30 minutes that someone watches TikTok every day, they become 17% more anti-Semitic, more pro-Hamas based on doing that. We now know that 50% of adults 18 to 25 think that Hamas was warranted in what they did with Israel. That's a problem.
How the hell she get those numbers, bro? What data does she have?
Some interesting math.
That is interesting.
Here's the math, CJ. I mean, Rocky. I'm so used to saying CJ. Rome. Here's the math. This is what she said. If you try and reconcile what the fuck you just heard, for every 30 minutes that someone watches TikTok every day, they become 17. That's very specific. 17% more anti-Semitic. What is it? Not 18%? Not too much?
Not 20?
Is 18 too much for you, Nikki? You couldn't round it to 20? Round down to 15? 17 is not a very satisfying number. You got like our minds, we work good with 10, Nikki. Like 10 is a very satisfying number. That's why we like rounding to 10. Like,
what the fuck?
17 is a weird number for you to use. That's what I'm saying.
No. Oh my God, no. This lady is insane. How the hell did she come into power? She obviously stupid as fuck.
Yeah, Rome. Remember, she was a governor of a state. Oh this person I'm showing you guys was a governor, and the person that every single GOP donor is rallying behind because Ron DeSantis failed. This is the best our ruling class has. This is who they view as their ace. This is the best among them. Isn't that? Doesn't that make you feel good?
And I love how all these politicians talk about October 7th, October 7th. Hey, you guys were warned, right? You guys were warned by multiple countries that Hamas was going to attack that day. And what happened? People like you, Nikki Haley, politicians, and all of these Wall Street criminals start putting money behind it. Y'all bet off of people's deaths and y'all made money off of it. You were warned and you had everything. Y'all have everything, like even nukes to stop them. But you want this war to go on because it makes you money. I'm tired of these people playing like, oh, well, October 7th is the worst. It's like 1911. Like, man, shut the
yeah.
Like, no, that wasn't even shit. That wasn't shit. What you guys are doing right now that is like 1911. Bombing the shit out of schools, hospitals, and then have an excuse for it. Oh, Hamas was under there. Okay, well, what's the percentage of Hamas being killed, right? Not that many. Not that many. They still out there strong as hell. So it don't seem like you guys are targeting this group of resistors. You guys are just targeting civilians because you kill your own. And these, oh God.
So I can continue this low light. Nikki Haley has said some crazy things, man, and the reason why she's the most. I'll just show you guys a little bit. You know what I mean? She also said that every person that uses social media should register using their government ID.
Oh, hell no.
And she was grilled by it during the Republican debate by Vivek and everyone else. And then she was like, oh, no, I didn't say that. No, that's definitely what you said. So I could go all day with these clips, but I'm going to show you guys right now to end the segment why she's the most dangerous. And mark it down. There's two reasons why they like Nikki Haley. Her pro-war stance and the fact that she is a class warrior on behalf of the capitalist class whose only goal is to destroy the workers. You guys understand? Nikki Haley's job is to crush the workers and prop up the capitalist class, hence why she has been a powerful person despite her obvious intellectual ineptitude, right? You get propped up if you're a class warrior. That's why we must seize the means of production. Because the capitalist class will continue to produce Nikki Haley. I mean, you know who Nikki Haley was when I was in high school? It was Sarah Palin.
Mm-hmm.
They're always going to find a new one. Then there was Michelle Bachmann. You guys remember these people? Remember, these are the people I used to freak out about. You know what I mean? Now I'm done with that shit. You know what I mean? I'm done.
Go back.
You know what I mean? Because they all the fuck the same. So, and this is why she's dangerous. This is Warren Gunnels. Speaking of Nikki Haley, here are some of her quotes on the working class. Nikki Haley said, "We kicked those unions hard, and they will not step foot in the state of South Carolina." She also says, unions are not needed, not wanted, and not welcomed in the state of South Carolina. So you guys realize we're in an era where even Republicans are pro-union now, according to polls?
Mm-hmm.
It is what she said. She said straight out, I was a union buster. Nikki Haley was a union-busting South Carolina governor.
Scab.
Now do you guys see why the ruling class call her a moderate? This is like, once again, the slavery thing is whatever to me, to be honest, bro.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the slavery thing was like, oh, she did it again. Another Nikki Haley moment. It's not unique. It is another one. It's shit like this. Like, she got into government to sell war and to wage class war on the workers. And the second that duopolists, people who support Democrats and Republicans, realize that, the better we all be.
Mm-hmm.
No one in the Republican and Democratic Party is moving and operating in any other way except class war against the workers. This country needs class analysis. Rome, last words, and then we read super chats and we get out of here. I'm going to try to keep my shows to around 60, 90 minutes. I think it can be easily digestible that way. So anything you want to add, Rome, and before we wrap up? There was a
shit, man. My phone about to die anyway, but it was nice to get on this motherfucker. But goddamn, these people are fucking crazy, man. But I'm at the library right now. I just put this floor in the damn bathroom.
Bro, look at this shit. Look at the work that Rome is doing, fam. Look at the work that RBN is doing. This is why they're going after our channel, because we building libraries. We got people who are disabled, like JP, who building mutual aid organizations.
Oh yeah, well, this shit, man. This the future of journalism, man. They hate it because we make them look lazy. Like a lot of people, like, oh, you beg for money and y'all begging for money and this and that. Like, how the fuck do we supposed to get this shit then?
Yeah,
you know, like it's not the point that we beg for money or we asking people for money. It ain't that. It's that we are successful, and they hate to see it.
I don't apologize for that shit at all, fam. Hey, if you are a class trader, what is your job? You think your job as a class trader just sit here and watch YouTube? What the hell are you doing? Sit and watch on YouTube. I'm making $200,000 a year. I guess I'll just watch YouTube now. I'm gonna watch YouTube all day, but I guess I'm progressive. No, your job is to fund the revolution. If any chance, and I'm not looking for it, but if there's any chance that I ever have money, you know what I'm doing? I'm funding the fucking revolution. I'm not dying a rich man. So there should be no apologies for asking for money if you're a revolutionary, because we don't have the money. We are a working class. So if you are a class trader, like many people claim they are, if you're a lawyer, if you're an accountant, if you're all these people in the managerial class that is making the kind of money that you should feel guilty about making, how about you fund the revolution? How about instead of rolling your eyes at Rome for asking for money, you just give them money because your job is to fund the revolution? That's how I feel. That's my last thought, but go ahead, Rome.
These same people will give $4,000 to a politicians like RFK. I remember that shit.
Yes. People was writing politicians RFK $1,000 checks. People sending politicians $1,000 checks. People donating to Marianne Williams and all these candidates, and then they're like, "Bro, why you ask for money?"
Like, nigga, what?
You okay with giving politicians money, but not community builders? Isn't that weird?
It's the point that we successful. They hate it because they like, fuck, how the fuck these niggas do it? Nigga, just do something. It don't even matter. Start small and you're gonna get big. The bigger you get, the more you're gonna move up. But you gotta be real about it. You gotta have your heart in it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just get in this because I'm in politics. I'm into politics, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do like no. Start where your heart is, and you will go far. This is why RBN is able to do what we are doing over the entire country. That's fucking cold. I don't know no group that's fucking with us right now. But if y'all want to contribute, y'all can go on my page. I think I got the links up. Tour for the Poor. You can donate, help us out. I'm about to drop some more wood down, put some boards up so I can get the ceiling up and take my black ass home. But yeah, I'm man, trying to get it looking good because we need another clean out. But it was nice. Thank you for having me on, man. I gotta get up out of here.
We're gonna have you on a lot on the new Nick at Night show. Nick Cruz on RBN. What do you guys want me to call it? I like Nick at Night, but
I like Nick at Night.
Yeah, I like it too. I don't need to overthink it. So feel free to drop out if you got other things to do. I'll just read a few super chats. But guys, after the stream, go to Harland Media, subscribe. Go to Harland Media videos, like all of them. Go to their Rumble, subscribe, like all the videos. Go to Rockfin because we're going through some shit. We're right now with censorship and suppression. We're going to go through some more shit. But Harland Media has been going through this shit for years, fam. This is not the first rodeo, but I just want to take this time to speak on my friend Kid, who has done nothing but showed solidarity to us at RBN. He uses his channel to prop up activists. He covers real issues. And he has true solidarity working class. He covers war. And just like RBN, Harland Media is getting fucked with. You guys notice that everyone who's close with us keep getting fucked with. You know what I mean? There's a reason for that. So I'll just read the first tweet. This is I think wrong. That's my brother. That's how I know I'm going too long. I hit you right back. Yep. So here are Harland's. Team YouTube has he's saying that Harland Media have been wrongly and maliciously hit with 3 active copyright strikes, and we asked them to be removed so our channel can be restored. So I think the channel was taken down. Wait, what? I think I misread this the first time. Is your channel up, bro? What? Hold up. Let me see. I know you're in the chat, kid. Are your channel, bro? I think I misread this the first time. Okay, channel still. Okay, thank you. Thank God. So that why go subscribe to Harland Media. They can't go live. Like the videos. We gotta show critical. We gotta show critical solidarity. There's a lot to the story. I don't got time to cover it all, but I just want to make sure I cover our boy Kit. Like he always has our back. He's a great journalist, a great guy. So I'm very sad this happened to you, my brother. So let me get some rest of super chats. Let me get out of here. Where'd I leave off? Thank for the 199 Susie potatoes. Never quit. Love you all. I never quit. They're nothing other than revolutionary struggle. Nothing other than revolutionary struggle. If you're not fighting to better the society for the future generations, that I try to be careful what I say, because I'm not a fucking doctor. You know what I mean? I have like certain philosophies for life. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that like this is like medically sound, but I think one of the reasons why there's a rise of depression in the United States, why a lot of people feel unfulfilled, is because they don't realize that their ancestors fought for a better society. You're supposed to fight for revolutionary change. When you fight for revolutionary change, when you have a purpose, and whether that purpose is to make your children's lives better, build your community, that helps fend that depression off, because you give your life purpose. But once again, I'm not a doctor. I just have certain things I live by. So with that said, even though the fight in revolution seems kind of impossible, right? I maintain revolutionary optimism, and I always strive for the revolution, because there's nothing other than that. If you live your life as a coward and you're like, oh, I'm gonna just blend in with society. Yeah, I know things suck. Yeah, I know my family got medical debt. Yeah, I know they're sending my community to jail unjustly, but I don't want to do anything about it because I want to protect myself. I want to live a long life. Fam, I promise you, that's not good for the soul. And there's no science behind what I'm saying here. I'll tell you guys, this is my personal philosophy. You know what I mean? And that's why I would never quit. Like, even though it seems hard, I don't know if we're going to be successful in making revolution, but there's nothing else. What else is there? Especially if you're a parent. I plan on being a late at life parent. But there's nothing else you should be doing other than trying to make this planet better for your kids, or if you don't have kids, your cousins, your nephews, your friends' kids. You know what I mean? I like to end streams on the rant, so that's just more like life philosophy, which I may do more of that on the new show. I may talk about that kind of stuff more, but I won't lecture you guys' brains off on it. Thank you for the $2. That's a funny ass name. Haley's a war profiteer who do anything for power. Absolutely. So I think we caught up here. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We still in, I guess it's like season 1.5. Season 0, because the official debut of Nick at Night will be Nick at Night season 2. Season 2 being our second year doing it, 2014. 2025 to be season 3. You know, we're not stopping. Season 4, 2026. So season 2, the first episode of Nick at Night will be next Thursday. Hope you guys enjoying this. Hope you guys are hyped for that. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. Channel being suppressed or not, I'm just privileged that I got people that are able to hear the revolutionary thoughts. So much love to all you guys. Have a good one.